Can you believe this tiny brownie packs a whopping 200 calories? As someone who's battled with both weight loss and weight regain for most of my life, I know just how easy it is for brownies to cause fat to creep back on. But what if I told you there's a delicious alternative that cuts the calories by 60% while packing as much protein as your favorite protein bar? In this video, I'll show you how to make it using just a bowl, whisk, and baking pan. Let's get into it. Grab the biggest bowl you have, and yes, size matters here. Now, I've tried several brands for each ingredient to get the best flavor and quality while perfecting this recipe. You don't have to use my recommendations, but I'm sharing what delivered the best results for me. If you have a go-to brand you love, by all means, use it. There are no rules in the kitchen. Just remember, inferior ingredients often means inferior results. Place your bowl on a scale and add 120 grams of erythritol and 30 grams of sugar. You heard that right, sugar. Adding just 5 grams per muffin will help retain moisture after baking and reduce gluten formation, making each bite more tender. Just listen. If you think sugar is the devil, you can swap in honey or more erythritol. Then add 4.5 grams of salt and place a mesh strainer over the bowl. Follow up by adding 90 grams of all-purpose flour. I tried cake flour while testing, but didn't notice a difference in taste or texture, so I went with the cheap stuff. Next, we need 99 grams of a high-quality chocolate whey casein protein powder. Boom. Please make sure your protein powder tastes excellent and is a whey casein blend, or you'll end up with dry muffins that taste like Gooch cheddar. Trust me, that's not the kind of cheddar anyone is craving. After the protein, add 30 grams cocoa powder. I tried several brands, but King Arthur's double cocoa powder came out on top in every taste test. And it wasn't just me. There were 5 people trying every batch to make sure we got it just right. 15 batches later, we nailed the perfect recipe.
Yes, puppy.
With all the recipe testing recently, I didn't have as much time as I usually do to prep all my meals. So today's video sponsor, Factor, came to the rescue. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen meals straight to my door. When hunger strikes, I just grab a meal from the fridge, heat it up for 2 minutes, and eat. You get to choose every meal when ordering, so of course I handpick the ones with at least 40 grams of protein and 400 to 600 calories, because, you know, muscle building and weight loss. These meals will keep you out of the kitchen and away from mindless snacking, plus they take just seconds to log into any calorie tracking app. Plated up, they look like restaurant quality meals, and the taste matches the look. In less than 10 minutes, I'm full and get on with my day with no cleanup necessary. If you want to make your life easier like I made mine easier, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50E4CM to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50E4CM at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. We'll finish the dry ingredients with 6 grams of baking powder, 3 grams of baking soda, and a half gram xanthan gum. But there is a major issue most people overlook with their baking powder and baking soda. They start losing their power about 6 months after opening, leading to limp and lifeless muffins. So I highly recommend spending a couple extra dollars to grab fresh boxes if yours have been sitting around for a while. After sifting the dry ingredients, you'll soon see why we use the mesh strainer. Big chunks of flour and cocoa powder get left behind, and it's crucial, especially in a protein-based baking recipe, that everything is evenly dispersed for the best results. Manually push those chunks through so they become fine powder and dump any leftover salt into the bowl. Whisk everything together thoroughly. But for real though, thoroughly. Alright, now take a spoon and we'll make a well in the middle of the bowl. This is where our wet ingredients will be stored. Add 1 egg and 2 egg yolks into the hole. The extra yolks will help keep the muffins tender and moist, so place the extra egg whites aside and use them for a nice sausage egg McMuffin later in the week. Then we'll pour in 120 grams 2% chocolate milk. After testing several options, chocolate milk won out for both flavor and moisture retention. Not only is Fairlife chocolate milk S tier, it has 13 grams of protein in every cup and adds another layer of flavor to the muffin. If you can't get high protein chocolate milk, don't worry. You can easily substitute with regular 2% milk. Then into the well, add 370 grams 2% Greek yogurt, 370 grams, baby, and 10 grams avocado oil. And don't even think about using the fat-free versions. If you do, you will comment below that my recipes suck and how you never should have trusted me. The fats keep the muffin moist and tender, making for a much greater mouthfeel. Now keep this secret between us. Adding 2 grams of coffee extract will greatly enhance the chocolate flavor without any coffee taste. Trust me, I hate coffee. Like this video. Let's take our whisk and whisk only the wet ingredients to start. Our dry ingredients are already fully mixed, so we want to make sure we do the same to the wet ingredients before incorporating them into the dry. Luckily, the whey casein blend takes a bit of time to absorb liquid, so we'll have no problem doing this. Once mixed, the batter will be pretty thick, so this is where I like to switch over to a spatula and start folding in the ingredients. We need to find the perfect balance between the dry ingredients being fully incorporated while not overmixing. Sometimes it may look perfectly mixed, but then you scrape the bottom of the bowl and find multiple dry spots. Once it looks like this, our batter is ready. The only thing left to do is load the batter up, and to do that, I like to use an ice cream scoop. You can certainly use a spoon, but I love the ease of being able to just scoop and plop. And since we are making jumbo muffins, we will need a jumbo muffin pan. I have been using this one for years to pipe several types of jumbo muffins without an issue. But just make sure yours is steel so it efficiently conducts the heat and cooks the muffins to perfection. The last thing I use to get professional looking muffins is these baking liners. No, fuck you. Stop focusing on the muffin pan. Admittedly, the surface of the muffin pan is non-stick, and I've made muffins straight in the pan. While it works, you need to remove the muffins after baking to prevent carryover cooking. When you do so without the liners, they become limp and look like the Leaning Tower of pizza. Not to mention, my fingers didn't like me too much when I took them out of the pan myself. Yeah, use the goddamn baking cups. Give each side of the liners a very quick spray with oil as well as the bottom to prevent stickage. Then put the bowl of batter on the scale, scoop some out, and add it to the first baking cup until the scale says minus 160 grams. Having an equal amount in each cup will make sure the muffins bake evenly and you get a consistent product every time you make them. That's why I meticulously craft every recipe to ensure you get an amazing tasting product every time. And my cookbook follows the same approach. Each recipe includes clear, easy-to-follow instructions with clickable titles that link straight to the recipe video, so you can see each step in 4K if you have any questions. So if you want 160 recipes and exclusive early access to new ones, join the thousands who have achieved amazing results using my recipes and click the link in the description below. Once our cups are filled, we still have one major contributor to flavor left, and that is chocolate chips. To tell you I tried multiple brands is an understatement. Different companies, chip sizes, and types of chocolate were all tested. Out of the 6 tested, the unanimous winner was Guitard, followed by Giraldi, and an easy last place was Tall House. So we'll take 56 grams of our chocolate and add them to the top of the muffins. If using Guitard chocolate, that should perfectly amount to 6 pieces on top of each muffin. Now, I have found protein treats need low and slow cooking, so we'll throw these in a preheated 300-degree oven for 38 to 42 minutes. You know these are done when there is no jiggle to them or by the OG toothpick test with just a bit of crumb sticking to it. Real talk though, I would err on the side of underdone than overdone. Speaking of, they won't look aesthetic, but if you want to make lava cakes, simply reduce the cooking time by 4 minutes.
Absolutely unreal.
I love pairing a warm, triple chocolate muffin with an ice-cold glass of chocolate milk for a stupidly quick 40-gram protein breakfast that keeps me full until lunch. You still have one major problem though. If you want a sweet treat at night, you need more variety. In this video here, I will show you how to make protein cheesecake that has 233 grams of protein and weighs over a half a pound per slice. Until next time, deuces.